But Eddie should shut up and stop blaming other people. Eddie Hearn was the guy who screwed everything up. I think there's one winner, and that's Tyson Fury, and I think he's going to knock Wilder on his ass quicker this time than he did last time.
Bob, I spoke with Teofimo last week, I spoke with Devin Haney last week, and I spoke with Lomachenko on this Tuesday. So I would like to ask you, what's next for Teofimo? Is it...
Well, Teofimo, I talked with his manager, David McWhorter, and he has a number of ways to go. One, if he wants to do a lightweight fight, the best fight as far as he wants to do pay-per-view is Teofimo, is a rematch with Teofimo. I mean, with Lomachenko. That would do good business. But he may very well decide that his goal is to fight Josh Taylor, in which case I would put him in with one of our 140-pounders like Julian Rodriguez or Jose Pedraza, whoever wins the fight on Saturday. That would be a very interesting fight with Teofimo either against Pedraza in the Garden in New York or against Julian Rodriguez.
What about a fight with Devin Haney, who has...
Devin Haney, the problem with Devin Haney is he has 30 days that he has to talk to Eddie Hearn. And then after the 30 days, apparently Eddie Hearn has a right to match. It's too complicated if I have to get him in the ring in October, Teofimo, because Teofimo's wife is having a baby in November, and he wants to get that fight done before his child is born. So Devin Haney is going to be out of the picture for now because of the legalities.
Teo seems to want it next.
I don't care what anybody wants next, but there are contracts and there are problems in doing a lot of things. I mean, wanting, it's not like a baby who wants certain kind of ice cream, right?
What about Lomachenko and Devin Haney?
What?
Lomachenko, Devin Haney?
Again, if, let's say, that's interesting. If, let's say, Teofimo is going to go the 140-pound route, that leaves Lomachenko looking for a dance partner, and that would be an interesting fight, Devin Haney and Lomachenko. So, again, and we won't have the time constraints with Lomachenko because if he has to fight in December, that would be fine. And there's a date that we're looking for a big fight, and that's December 11th, because that's the Heisman Trophy, and so we'd be in Madison Square Garden, and that would be a good fight for the Garden. He had fought Duran, lost to Duran, then he beat Duran. I mean, look at their records when they fought each other. These guys, with the possible exception of Teofimo, these guys have fought nobody.
Say, Bob, well, out of these new fighters that we have now, who do you see is closest to those fighters that you mentioned?
Well, certainly Teofimo got a shot. He got it if he shuts up a little bit, and I think Teofimo has a shot. I think that Gervonta Davis, again, has a shot to be a really good fight.
Speaking of Gervonta Davis, you hosted here Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez for Undisputed at 140. What are your thoughts on Gervonta moving up to fight for a regular title?
I think he's too small at 140. If you want to know what I think, I don't think that Taylor would have any trouble with him.
Do you think Manny can beat Errol Spence? Do you think he will?
I think, look, Spence and Crawford would be a big favorite against Manny Pacquiao. But you never count Manny Pacquiao out. Pacquiao is the kind of fighter that can rise to an incredible occasion. I remember when I put Manny in with Oscar De La Hoya, and they threatened to put me in jail in the Philippines for jeopardizing Pacquiao's life. and all the reporters here said what a mismatch it was. And it ended up Pacquiao handled Oscar easily, and if it was a mismatch, it was a mismatch the other way.
This time it's a fresh guy in his prime, though.
Right.
Do you think?
Yeah, well, we'll see. There are certain guys in life that you never count out, and one of them is Manny Pacquiao.
Any updates on the next fight for Terence Bud Crawford?
We're meeting with him, with his people, on Friday at our office, and we want him back in the ring by early October.
What chance do you give Caleb Plant against Canelo in September?
I don't give anybody a big chance with Canelo. Canelo is really proving to be a tremendous fighter as well as a tremendous personality. That doesn't mean that Caleb Plant isn't a good fighter and won't give him the best kind of fight. But again, you'd have to go with Canelo, I would think.
Wilder Fury 3, now it's official. Where's that fight happening? And do you?
The fight is happening. We're going to have a press conference next week in LA. The fight's happening here. It'll be in the T-Mobile. And I have never seen any feeding frenzy for tickets like this fight.
Have you seen Wilder's improvements with Malik Scott as they're working in the gym? Do you think he can alter the fight, at least make it more competitive, if not?
Let me tell you something. I think it's an interesting fight. I think there's one winner, and that's Tyson Fury, and I think he's going to knock Wilder on his ass quicker this time than he did last time. I would certainly think so. I mean, that fight was going to happen if we hadn't had the arbitrator's ruling. And obviously, both guys, both Joshua and Fury, want that fight. Joshua doesn't have a walk in the park with Usyk, Usyk is a very good boxer. So we'll have to see. But obviously, if Fury wins and Joshua wins, it's logical that they fight each other. If Joshua fights in September, he could still make a fight in December. And I know in the Mideast, that's the month that they want a big fight to take place.
Because of the weather and whatnot?
Yeah. And because it's they're opening up a new area in Saudi Arabia in December, and they want to open it up with a big fight.
Eddie Hearn kind of saying he felt like there was something smelled dirty on your side.
Eddie Hearns has diarrhea of the mouth. He can't stop talking, and he doesn't think, because in the contract which Joshua signed and Fury signed, we specifically had a section talking about the arbitration and talking about the possibility that the arbitrator would order him to fight. So everybody knew about that. Now, people said, oh, the papers are clear, the arbitrator will never rule that way. But it's not a secret that it was in arbitration and that this was a possibility. Now, Eddie Hearn was the guy who screwed everything up. And the reason he screwed it up was the Saudis were happy to pay a tremendous amount as a site fee. Eddie got greedy, and he said, not only pay a bigger amount and take all the television and everything. And all the promoters, Frank Warren, ourselves, had deals. It became so complicated that it dragged on for weeks. I truly believe that if it had just been a site fee, we would have signed it, we would have announced the fight, and the arbitrator, if he felt the way he did, would have given Wilder, some damages, but wouldn't have enjoined the fight. So, but again, that's all in retrospect. But Eddie should shut up and stop blaming other people. Instead, he would be be well advised to shut his mouth and look in the mirror.
Bob, you know about YouTubers fighting TikTokers today?
Yeah, look, I that's not my bag. I mean, I think it's a fad. It's going to really, but again, nobody is stealing from anybody. I mean, they had this Mayweather fight with this one at a Paul. I mean, everybody knew and anything about it was a farce. But again, what did they say it was? An exhibition. It wasn't a real fight. So if Mayweather carried the guy, that's what people. I'm not going to tell anybody how they should spend their entertainment dollar. That's up to them. I wouldn't buy it. I was not interested in seeing it. But if there are people out there who want to see that kind of thing, why not? Why not? I mean, look at WWE, the wrestling. Everybody knows that's not real, but it's a great show and so forth. And they're a multi-billion-dollar company because they present that entertainment.
Well, since Tyson Fury is already
What?
to WWE, in terms of cross promotion, do you guys have any plans for August with the WWE?
Well, I don't think he has enough time to get ready. But again, he enjoyed Tyson. Really had a great time when he was performing for the WWE. Vince McMahon is a great friend of mine, and if he asked Tyson to participate after Tyson's fight in July, I would encourage Tyson to do it.
Can I go back to YouTubers and TikTokers? Super popular and professional boxers want to do it too. I just saw Shakur. I'm like, Shakur, would you fight any TikToker and YouTuber? He's like, hell yeah. Would you let your fighter to do that?
Of course, if they're going to get compensated and they want to do it, why would I deprive them from being compensated, a lot more than for a regular boxing match? I mean, it's like it's there. There's money. Everybody is grabbing for the money. Why would I stop my people from grabbing as well? That doesn't mean that I think it has any real validity.
Paul brothers and Tyson Fury brother, Tommy Fury, they were in Miami together, and Tyson Fury brother, Tommy, was looking for Jake Paul and calling him out on videos. What do you think about that?
I think that's great. If they can make some money off it, I'm in favor of it. I mean, money is money, right? No, they're going to hurt anybody. Tommy Fury, is not going to be a great fighter, and if Tommy Fury gets a gig fighting one of these Paul brothers, why not?
And exhibitions became super popular. Even Oscar De La Hoya, you just mentioned him on the stage, wants to come back and fight.
Let Oscar De La Hoya get his act together first.